What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What is up, family? I know you guys were very concerned, but Kim and Kanye are finally divorced. Kanye is going to pay her $200,000 a month. He has joint custody, so hopefully we don't hear him on the internet complaining about, having a split custody with Kimmy. And yeah, hopefully all will be well. Hopefully they can have a peaceful whole thing here going. Dwayne Wade and his ex-wife are still fighting about his transgender daughter's name change. Her name is Sauvignon Wade. She's making allegations that he's trying to profit from their transgender daughter's transition, saying in court documents filed Tuesday that his former spouse is possibly trying to retaliate against him during the divorce and carry out a campaign of personal attacks. Wade's ex-wife, I cannot pronounce her first name. Anyway, she filed objection this month to the Wade's August petition in Los Angeles seeking to legally change their 15-year-old daughter's name to Zaya. In documents, she claimed her ex-husband violated their custody agreement because he never tried to discuss the name change with her. She also accused him of possibly pressuring their child to move forward with the name and gender change in order to capitalize on related financial opportunities, but the documents filed Tuesday says Funches Wade responded to an email already heard to a petition by declining to discuss elective matters until her relationship and bond with her child was completely healed and restored. And the documents described her profit-seeking claims as nonsensical, libelous, and at their core. Dwayne filed his petition because they had asked him to. It is unclear what the goal is, but they are going to resume. They want her to stop her personal attacks. The lawyer did not immediately respond. And yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I think, when you were a child of a parent that is a star, you get the endorsements forced on you early. So, what do I think? I don't know. They'll have to do what's best for themselves. Living in a spotlight is not going to be fun at all. I wouldn't want to. The U.S. Senate votes 61-36 to codify federal protection for same-sex and interracial marriage. So that's a good thing. What else is going on? They're still doing the whole January 6th thing. Just looking at what we want to read here. So many things. I'm just thinking which one. The funny thing, and it's not funny, but in New York, the mayor is issuing a directive for the police to remove individuals displaying severe symptoms of mental illness. And I'm just wondering, does that include Karens? Because I did see a Karen thing. Elon Musk may be luring Apple into a fight with Republicans because he's doing the whole Apple is removing their ads and they're trying to control free speech. Yada, yada, yada. Let's see what else. Gaslighting was the Merriam-Webster's word of the year. That word was definitely used a lot. I definitely used it a few times. A bullet found near the bodies of two teenage girls who were killed in Delphi, Indiana, has been linked to a gun belonging to the suspect in their 2017 deaths. So hopefully that person goes down. This Florida resident, Amanda Ramirez, has sued Kraft for $5 million over what she claims is deceptive because they say it only takes like 3 minutes to heat up their macaroni, and she's saying it takes longer. Interesting. I think it also depends on your microwave. And like, yeah, I know kids eat that stuff, but there's no way you cannot pay me to eat microwavable macaroni. That's as processed as it gets. The U.S. defeated Iran and advances to World Cup round 16. So that was pretty big today. Soccer takes so long just to score 1 point, or football as some likes to call it. The Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes was found guilty of seditious conspiracy in connection with the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. A Walmart worker who was shot during last week's mass killing in Virginia store has filed a $50 million suit saying she wrote a formal complaint about the shooter's bizarre behavior 2 months ago and nothing was done about it. I hope that she sees some kind of vindication, because that was a big story that a lot of them had complained about his behavior and nothing was done about it. So, that's sad. I hope that, that is resolved. So your top selling toys for Christmas are Pokemon cards, Legos, Hot Wheels, Disney's Encanto branded merchandise, LOL surprise dolls, Cocomelon, and Hatch Animals, according to Adobe Analytics. Those LOL surprise dolls are still doing what they need to do, huh? 3 African migrants who were balancing on a ship's rudder were rescued by the Spanish Coast Guard after an 11-day voyage, according to officials. A Texas woman kidnapped as a baby at 51 years was reunited with her family after they used a home DNA test to track her down. Wow. Makes you wonder about all the missing people and in the age of DNA. So some DNA kits work, guys. Not all of them are scams. Biden is trying hard to keep the freight line from going on strike. And gas news, gas is cheap again. That's good news. Let's see what else is going on to avoid talking about Kanye once again. There's a winter storm that's headed from the south to the northeast coming in this weekend, and it could bring in tornadoes and all the above. So brace yourself for that. There was a lot of news. I'm just trying to keep it on the lighter side because, it could go dark. China is accelerating efforts to vaccinate older people against the coronavirus, health officials say, as security personnel came out in force to deter further demonstrations against the zero COVID controls. According to news, they won't accept vaccines from any other place, and supposedly their vaccine is not that effective from what news stories have said. So, because you would think with how strict and how they're locking down and doing shifts and all that stuff, that they'd be able to not eradicate it, but it wouldn't keep breaking out so much. I know they are way more populated than most places. So, let's see what else. The decision by Whole Foods to pause purchase of Maine lobster has sparked outcry from the state's elected official. People want their crab legs and their lobsters, man, and the oysters. Like, people are really sick of this stuff. Let's see what else is going on here. Same. At least 2 people were rescued overnight in a home in Boulder, Colorado, where an armed suspect had barricaded himself inside. So they were rescued, which is good news. This is sad. Police are investigating after the bodies of 4 infants were found in a residence in Boston, including at least one body that was found in the freezer. What the heck is going on there? It's not clear why they were asked to investigate. When they arrived, they found what appeared to be the infants. This happened on November 18th. 2 infant boys and 2 infant girls. The autopsy results are still pending. Neighbors were stunned. I'm like, were there no parents or anything? It's not really saying at all. Pennsylvania teenager was arrested after authorities accused him of showing the body of a person who had been fatally shot during an Instagram video chat with an acquaintance. So that wasn't that smart, because now he's getting convicted of murder due to that. Other than that, guys, I don't want to keep going down the darkness rabbit hole, because news, it just gets darker and darker. So let's get into these stories. I grabbed a few of them for you. We're going to talk about Candace Owens on Kim Kardashian. That's her favorite person. So let's get into what she is talking about.
Issue a statement after I said, wow, I can't believe we have made it all the way to Sunday. It has been 6 days and she still has not made a statement. Of course, this went viral, and then within an hour, she did issue a statement. Here's what she wrote. Quote, I have been quiet for the past few days, not because I haven't been disgusted and outraged by the recent Balenciaga campaigns, but because I wanted an opportunity to speak to their team to understand for myself how this could have happened. Let's pause right there, okay? That is stupid. That is stupid, Kim. You want us to believe that you took 6 days because you were just trying to understand what happened. Something that we all understood within minutes of seeing the photo and discussing it and disseminating it widely. We understood what happened. Children were taken advantage of in a shoot by pedophiles and sickos and weirdos, okay? Children were being used as props for somebody that has a bizarre sexual fetish for children. But no, you needed 6 days to understand what happened, as if you had to send an email to an info box at Balenciaga, as if you're not Kim Kardashian, who can pick up the phone, call the CEO, call the creative director, call the stylist directly and say, what the hell is this? And get an immediate answer. But no, you think we're all so stupid that we're going to believe that it took you some time to understand what happened. You needed time to process. No, what you actually did, Kim, was you probably talked to your mom and said, oh my God, I'm scared. No. Your mom said, it's okay, Kim. It's Thanksgiving. Give it a couple of days and everyone's going to forget about it. And your strategy was to be quiet and hope that the scandal blew over. Hope that everyone would get lost in turkey and be too tired to talk about it. But what actually happened was that hashtag Balenciaga groomers kept trending all weekend. And then your name started trending. And you realize about the 3rd time that I hit you on Instagram and millions of people were in your comments saying, comment on Balenciaga, that it wasn't going to go away. So you then drummed up this statement. Let's keep going and see what you said. She goes on to say, as a mother of 4, I have been shaken by the disturbing images. The safety of children must be held with the highest regard, and any attempts to normalize child abuse of any kind should have no place in our society, period. Okay, I agree with that. Wonderful. That is no place in our society. It needs to be condemned. We're not going to normalize it. Give it to me, Kim. Tell us you're done with Balenciaga. No, that's not what she does. She's not going to do that. Here's what she says next. She says, I appreciate Balenciaga's removal of the campaigns and apology. in speaking with them, I believe they understand the seriousness of the issue and will take the necessary measures for this to never happen again. As for my future with Balenciaga, I am currently reevaluating my relationship with the brand, basing it off of their willingness to accept accountability for something that should have never happened to begin with, and the actions I'm expecting to see them take to protect children. That's it. So what she did there was she said, as a mother, so that we would all go, oh, yes, I'm a mom. I feel you. I love you, Kim. What else? And then she said, I'm still going to wear Balenciaga. I'm still going to wear Balenciaga because they apologized and they took down the images. And now I'm telling you guys that you need to forget about it because they took accountability for their child pornography. So guys, forget about the pedophiles, because if a pedophile gets caught or a pornographer gets caught and they apologize, like, they just come out and say, I'm sorry that you caught me with kiddie porn, then it's incumbent upon you guys to forget about it and move on. Oh, and by the way, I'm reevaluating my Okay, I mean, how many times is a celebrity PR person going to keep using that word? What it really means when they say, I'm reevaluating, it means I'm giving it some time for you guys to forget about it and waiting for the next scandal to come about so that you guys will leave me alone and I can continue to drip myself in Balenciaga and get free money and get bags and get money and get cash and get sponsorships with them and get invited to their shows because I'm Kim Kardashian and I don't have a soul. I literally stop pretending that Kim Kardashian has a soul. I'm done with this. I'm done with the idea that every time she cries, it's because she's really hurting. The only thing that hurts Kim Kardashian is the idea that she's not going to be invited to the Met Gala, is the idea that she's not going to become more famous, is the idea that she's not going to be able to call up Anna Wintour and she's not going to make it on the cover of Vogue, okay? I told you before that she prostitutes herself for fame. She's done it since the very beginning, okay? She's willing to go so far in continuing that relationship with fame that child pedophilia and pornography does not disrupt this girl for a single second, okay? What she is dealing with right now is trying to figure out how to make you all forget about it so that you still buy her Skims and her skin products, and you still see her as a victim of everything. She's a victim. She's just going to ride out the wave. Absolutely despicable. And no, we're not going to just forget about it, Kimmy. We're going to keep the heat on you because as a mother of two, as I am, this is where I draw the line. And I think that you guys need to be called out for your selfishness. It is easy to walk away from Balenciaga and Adidas, okay? They did it to your husband in about 30 seconds after one tweet. It is easy for you to walk away and to not just say it, but to mean it, that you condemn child grooming and pedophilia. And that's all that I have to say about that.
I hate when I agree with Candace Owens, but she's not lying on this, guys. So Howard Stern had a thing where he was talking about Oprah was like rich and flaunting her wealth. And I'm like, Howard, you're rich too and flaunt your wealth. Let's talk about Harvey Weinstein and what's going on in that trial.
Harvey Weinstein's genitalia has been in the headlines. I haven't been following this case, but this caught my attention. Harvey Weinstein has a history of a condition called Fournier's gangrene. He's lucky to be alive. Fournier's gangrene is also called gas gangrene. It's also been referred to as a flesh-eating bacteria, but it's a pretty serious infection that you can get in your perineum. It moves very fast. It causes necrosis, or basically kills the tissue in your perineum, and the only way to get rid of it is to surgically remove all the dead tissue and give massive amounts of antibiotics. But it definitely leaves you very disfigured. It's kind of scary to diagnose because infections in that area and abscesses are very common. What makes this bacteria unique is that when you push on the skin or the infection, it feels crackly because there's gas in the tissues. That's why it's called gas gangrene. So the other word for that is crepitus. So if you push on the infection and it feels crunchy, that's a very, very serious sign that it could be Fournier's gangrene. And that's a very life-threatening emergency. So in his case, the dead tissue is debrided, left him very disfigured. However, the surgeons were able to save his testicles by removing them out of the infected scrotum and reimplanting them into his thighs. The whole point of all that is that he still has his endocrine glands producing hormones, and he was able to avoid hormone replacement therapy and having his testicles removed. I don't recommend looking this up online and seeing pictures. Don't do it. Just don't.
Interesting tidbit. Super gross. Not sure what that has to do with the trial, but yeah. Let's go to the next one.
Do it or stitch this video, but please go back and watch it. So basically, this guy gets caught cheating. His wife finds out who the side chick is, pulls her over to the crib. He walks up to the house. They're both sitting in the dining room. Boom, boom, boom. This guy does not give a damn. He does not care. He's like, so, and what? I don't care. And when you watch the video, you look at him and you're mad at him because he caused the situation. But here is my perspective as a single woman who has been in that situation before. I hate him and the wife. Why? Because you guys do this all the time. That is very fucking obvious. You guys play this cat and mouse game all the time. He knew what to say. She knew what to say. They were way too calm. It was not a damn surprise. This is a game that you guys play with each other because you don't know how to break up with each other. Or you're just toxic. And what you end up doing is you bring women, single women, into your mess. And then you want to get mad at her. You want to get mad at the side chick. And the truth is, you guys are the ones that are causing all these problems because y'all should not be together. How many women have you run off? How many conversations have you sent? How many text messages have you sent? How long has this man ever been faithful to you? He's never been faithful to you. You've never been his only woman. Yet y'all keep pulling other people in and then wondering why so many women are fucked up in the head. Married people, stay your asses in your fucking marriage or get a divorce. But stop playing with us single people. We don't do this shit to y'all. Y'all come out here. You think you're better than us because you're married and you have kids. I get it. I promise you. Just stay your ass over there. Since you're so much better than us, go stay your ass over there. Why do you keep coming back out here, interrupting our lives, messing up what we have? Why? Take your miserable ass back home to your spouse. Stay out of these streets. You're fucking it up for the rest of us.
And she meant that. I agree with her. Like, these toxic couples, you should be able to sue, and there in some states you can. But I mean, if somebody's lying to you and they bring you into their toxic drama, there should be like some legal action you should be able to take. That would make people apprehensive about doing that. It shouldn't. Sometimes the wife isn't the victim of the cheating. Or the husband. Sometimes they play that game, they catch each other, they make up, and they cause casualties in that, and it's in that hurricane because misery loves company, hurt people, the list goes on. Go to the next one.
You want more? I'll give you more. Here's a blending about Nicole Kidman's lack of response to the Balenciaga debacle. And it's giving Eyes Wide Shut. With all of the rumors about her dad, did you really think this permanent A-list actress was going to talk about her deal with the fashion house in the news? And her dad is Anthony Kidman, and wait for this. Her dad used to run hunting parties for the amusement of his elite friends. He also died in Singapore while evading accountability for, you can read the headline.
Let's go to the next one.
All right, let's start from the top. So, my name is Winnie. I'm 29. I still live at home with my parents. I think the reason why I live at home with my parents still is because there is a deep-rooted fear that I'm going to go out there on my own and struggle the way my parents did when I was younger, and I saw that, okay? I have one child. I do not enjoy being a mother. There's positive things, but I feel like the negative outweighs the positive. Love my kid, though. I'm currently dealing with a health scare right now. I've never been an unhealthy person, but for the past couple of months, my hands have been turning yellow. I have jaundice, and I have no idea why. I've also found blood in my number 2, and I'm always constipated. I do have health insurance, but the healthcare system sucks, so. I'm currently single, and I genuinely have a fear of dying alone. I've been doing social media for about 6 or 7 years now, and I don't enjoy it anymore. I'm burnt out. And finally, a lot of the drama in my life comes from my family.
I would think it comes from you because you just got on social media and said all these things, and everything that has happened in your life has been the cause of someone else and not yourself. You wouldn't die alone if you had your child I never understand people with children, and I get it. Being a parent is hard, but I never get where people be like, oh, I'm lonely. You have your kids. I remember when I was single, I would hang out with my boys. We go on vacation. I did not stop my life because I didn't have said partner, because that's literally not how life works. And if you continue to like paint your life as this picturesque thing, you are going to end up lonely because it'll never be the picture you want. She already said she's afraid to move out. This lady got a lot of fears and phobias. I don't think her family is the reason, because how is your family a reason but you won't move away from them? This lady's super confused, but I pray for her and her jaundice. Let's do one more story about this crypto dude that was found unalived. Let me get to it.
Don't be distracted by this heinous crime being committed in this video. What I want to talk about is the drowning death of the crypto visionary Nikolai Mashagan. It fuels conspiracy theories. The brilliant young cryptocurrency pioneer named Nikolai tweeted on October 28th that intelligence agencies were going to murder him, and he was found dead on a Puerto Rico beach hours later. CIA, Mossad, and pedo elite are running some kind of sex trafficking, entrapment, blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and Caribbean islands. Mashagan, a developer of blockchain-based decentralized finance platforms who wanted to end global banking corruption, tweeted at 4:57 a.m. They're going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex-girlfriend who was a spy. They will torture me to death. The 29-year-old then left his $6 million beach house in the Lux Condado area of St. Juan, Puerto Rico for a walk. A little after 9 a.m., a surfer off of Ashford Beach, a spot considered to be rife with riptides, the local hotels warned against ocean swimming, discovered his body in the waves. He was wearing his clothes and had his wallet on him. News of his death, coupled with the last tweet and other dark posts about fighting evil people who were part of the central banking cartel, which he claimed used debt and blackmail as weapons, have fueled conspiracy theories online and in the tight-knit cryptocurrency community in Puerto Rico. So Nikolai is effing dead. The CEO of Spank Change tweeted on October 3rd, "My money is on him being murdered. He was found drowned 4 hours after this riskiest tweet ever. He had all year to drown randomly or be mugged, so it seems unlikely that his death was unrelated to this tweet." Mashagan tweets 4 days ago about the CIA, Mossad, and pedo elites in fear for his life. Found out yesterday, pedo elites are real. Why Epstein unalived himself, wrote Smokey Bear in September. Mashagan tweeted that there were 3 possible futures for me: unalived by the CIA brain damage, slave asset, worst nightmare people who effed with me up until now. I am sure these are the only options. So this is like the second crypto billionaire found dead, and then you got that other guy who's facing trials. Somebody that knew him very well said they had a falling out, said the developer was very smart but also suffered from extreme bouts of paranoia. He had mental problems, said the source, who spoke on condition of anonymity. He saw a psychiatrist at times. He smoked a lot of pot, a tremendous amount. At the same time, the source said Mashagan was in communication with several federal agencies, possibly including the CIA, but did not elaborate further. Some of the paranoia was based on fact. The source says he discovered things, he knew things. Nikolai got bored a lot with the mundane of life. He go after things, constantly put himself in weird positions. It wasn't for the money. He was interested in why things were the way they were and corruption behind it. The source described Mashagan as a loner who lived alone with his dog, Sonny, after a bad breakup with a girlfriend he called a spy in his last tweet. Another source said there's no way the ex-girlfriend was a spy. The post has reached out to presumed ex for comment. He was a very quirky guy, the source added. He and I spent a lot of time together, and I knew everything about him. He came across as cocky, arrogant, but that was just his autism. He was a big nerd, but he wouldn't let anyone bully him. He had a collection of weapons.
He liked weapons. He knew what he wanted to protect himself. Maybe he knew too much or was going to expose someone. He said exactly what was on his mind. He had no filter. But Brock Pierce, the Mighty Ducks child star turned cryptocurrency billionaire who pioneered the mass move of cryptocurrency to Puerto Rico when he relocated in 2017, knew Michigan and believes that death was simply a tragedy that may never be solved. Pierce told the Post that he and others in the community were initially very confused about what may have been Michigan when they first heard about the death. And after speaking to Michigan Midwestern-based family and others at the funeral in San Juan, he said he became to believe that the drowning was neither accidental nor result of foul play, hinting that it was self-inflicted. Several sources said Michigan had been in such a downward spiral in recent weeks that his father had come to stay with him at his Condado home. San Juan police told the Post that Michigan's death is still under investigation, but is not considered a homicide at present. His mother clarified that his death had nothing to do with his tweets. He was a beautiful man, a child at heart. He was also incredibly visionary. I don't call people brilliant very often, but Nikolai was brilliant, and brilliant people sometimes walk on the edge of insanity. Pierce told the Post Tuesday that Michigan's parents who immigrated to the U.S. from Russia had said he had been sober for 6 months and might have misjudged the beach surf and have gotten accidentally swept up to the waves. Cryptocurrency investor Michael Turpin, who was among the first wave of tech entrepreneurs to move to Puerto Rico even before Pierce, said he knew Michigan and worked with him. He was a brilliant guy, and I wouldn't call him a tinfoil hat kind of person at all. Turpin told the Post this right out of an episode of Blacklist. I know Nikolai liked to go meditate in the morning, but I didn't know him to be the type to go out swimming like that, especially in rough water. I don't see how this could have happened by accident. Another friend in Puerto Rico who spoke of the condition of the anonymity said that many feared Michigan can unalive himself. He has stopped talking to people and gotten very reclusive, the friend told the Post. I think his mental health was getting worse and he was asking for help. He closed himself off. I think, unfortunately, that his last tweet was a really bold way of bringing up significance to an unalivement. Like, how can I bring some nobility and meaning to my death? Michigan, apart from his darkest tweets, had long positioned himself as someone helping bring a pure form of banking and finance to the world. Nikolai was working towards an incorruptible world, and he wanted there to be a separation of banking and state, just as there is a separation of church and state. Not so much anymore. Pierce said he thought the world would be better off if central banks couldn't print money and finance wars. Michigan in 2014, Carnegie Mellon graduate who donated $1.4 million to school often referenced the late Terry A. Davis and was called God's Lonely Programmer in his writings, as well as his LinkedIn profile. This post is going on and on. What do you guys think? I think that when you get so rich and you get so far up the chain that you start seeing, we as little peons of the world, we see the dark from where we are. Just imagine when you get that close up and the money doesn't matter anymore, and we all have our thoughts of who's running this, why is everything so corrupt, and what do you guys think? Do you think he unalived himself? Do you think it was an accident? Him passing away with his wallet on him seems a little strange. But I don't know. This is the second crypto billionaire that has succumbed to unalivement. It's some dark, wicked stuff out there, dude. And him just saying the whole pedo thing. It's crazy. Money isn't everything. And that was pre-recorded earlier. Just like I said, money isn't everything, dude. The more I see these people going cray-cray, it's like, man, you know what? I don't want to be rich. Just rich in love, health, and able to take vacations, and just not the problems that come with it. And, there's problems coming with this, and the more media, the more it's captured. Let's be clear, crazy things have been happening since the beginning of time, but now we're more privy to it. We're more privy to the weirdness. And you look up anything about any of these people all the way back in the freaking Stone Ages. People have weird things. I do think that it's not coincidental that all the Hollywood elites are kind of pointing out pedophilia. This has been something that's been alluded to since, I mean, I'm a 70s baby, and I remember hearing about it when I was old enough about that going on in Hollywood. So I don't think that all these people saying the same thing is not a lie. So hopefully some of it comes out. Hopefully they can actually put a dent in us, or maybe not. I don't know. But as long as we don't keep it normalized, as long as we keep calling it out as being wrong, hopefully the buck will at least stop with us and we won't participate in it. We already participate in enough of the dark evils of this world. Like, pedophilia is not one I want to participate in. You guys stay safe out there, and prayerfully you guys get rich without the problems. As for Family is signing out.